Welcome, Wild Kits. Please get your paper and pencils ready. We're going to start doing some sketching of logs. A couple days ago, we looked at how to graph a logarithm. So let's start with a basic shape. Y equals log base 3 of x. So I know that because this is a logarithm, there will be a vertical asymptote at x equals 0. I know that the basic log shape is going to look like that. And if I start to put some points down, I know that there will be a point at 1, 0. The base is 3, so there will be a point at 3, 1. 3 squared is 9, so there will be a point at 9, 2. And if I wanted to, there will be a point at 1/3, -1, and there would be a point at 1/9, -2. So this is all from the work that we did on Monday. And if you need to, you should pause the video right now and go back to Monday's video so you can refresh on that. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to start graphing translations. The function that we want to graph now is y equals log base 3 of x minus 4. So the x minus 4 means that our graph is going to be shifted to the right 4 units. So the asymptote isn't at 0 anymore. The asymptote is now at x equals 4. But the log shape still stays the same. So it's going to look like that. All of the points have moved 4 units to the right. So the intercept was at 1, 0. Now it's going to be at 5, 0. It is still a distance of 1 from the asymptote. Let's see. The point 3, 1 has moved 4 units, so that's now at 7, 1. The point at 9, 2 has moved 4 units right. It is now at 13, 2. But if I look back, this x-intercept is 1 unit away. This point at 1 is 3 units away from the asymptote. And this point when y equals 2 is 9 units away from the asymptote. So the log shape is still represented and we can still determine our base. So let's do a couple more sketches before we start figuring out what the base should be. Let's take a look at here and let's graph y equals log, so this is base 10 of x plus 7. So the first thing is I want to graph my asymptote. It's not at 0, it's moved 7 units left. So my asymptote is at x equals -7. I'll graph my log shape, and then I'll go to work. Let's see, no matter what the base is, the x-intercept is always 1 unit to the right. So if I go 1 to the right from -7, I'll be at -6, 0. The point when y equals 1 is going to be a distance of 10 units away. So that means there would be a point right here, 10 units away from -7 is at 3, 1. And if I wanted to, when y equals 2, this point right here would be 10 squared or 100 units away. So this point right here would be at 93, 1. Now let's graph y equals natural log of x minus 2. Okay, so the base is e. The asymptote has moved 2 units to the right. So I will put my asymptote at x equals 2. I will graph the log shape. I know that the x-intercept is always 1 unit to the right of the asymptote. So this would be 3, 0. So then when y is 1, I want to move e, which is my base, away. So this point would be e plus 2, which I could calculate on a calculator, or I could just leave it as an exact value, 1. When the y value is 2, I would move e squared away from the asymptote. So this point would be e squared plus 2, 1. No, I'm sorry, 2. And if I wanted to, I could graph more points. Generally, about 3 points is enough for us to be able to have a sense of what the points are on the log graph. So now let's go in the opposite direction. What if I already have a graph made? and I need to create an equation, and I need to find what the missing points are. Well, let's take a look. The x-intercept is at 7, 0. I know that the x-intercept is always 1 unit away from the asymptote, so the asymptote must be at 6. So I know my equation is y equals log. I don't know the base yet, but I know it's a translation 6 units to the right. Now that I know the asymptote is 6, I can start marking some distances. From 6 to 10 is 4. That means that my base is 4. And so then, if I want to figure out the y value at 2, I know that I'm going to move 16, because that's 4 squared, units to the right. So if I'm going 16 from 6, I end up at 22. Let's try it again. All right. Good time to pause the video and think about this one before we start doing it together. Ooh, this one's interesting. So first off, I can see that I am 1 unit away from the asymptote when I'm at the x-intercept. So the asymptote must be at 5. So my equation is y equals log base something, don't know it yet, x minus 5. Ooh, but this is tricky because I don't have a y value at 1. I have a y value at 2. And that distance is 4 when the y value is 2. But that should be my base squared. So base squared should equal 4. Now that would mean that my base is 2. So let's see if that matches up. When the y value is 3, I should be moving, I missed it a little bit. Let me redraw that. When the base is 3, I should be moving, let's see, 2 cubed, or 8 away from the asymptote. And if I start at 5 and I move over 8, I do end up at 13. So that checks out. So my base is 2. All right, let's try it again, except this time we're moving to the left. So good time to pause your video, Wildkits, write the equation on your own, and then come back and check. All right, let's take a look. So my x-intercept is at -11. It's always a distance of 1 away from my asymptote. So my asymptote should be at x equals -12. So my equation is y equals log. I don't know the base yet, but I've moved 12 units left. So let's see here. If I'm at x equals 12, to get to x equals -4, that's a distance of 8. So now I know my base. My base must be 8. And let's see here. If I'm at a y value of 2, that means I've moved over a total of 8 squared, or 64 units. So I started at -12. I moved to the right 64. That's 52. And that means the x-coordinate right here is 52. All right, we're going to do one more practice one, Wildkits. So let's see here. I have a logarithmic function. It passes through -7, 0 and 117, 3. Ooh, this is going to be a great one for you to pause on, Wildkits, and do on your own before we do together. All right, let's take a look. So I am a distance of 1 away from the asymptote. So if I start at -7 and I go left 1, that means I'm at the x value of -8. So my equation is y equals log some base, don't know that yet, of x plus 8. But I do know the distance from -8 to 117 is a distance of 125. And that is at a y value of 3, so that's my base cubed. So base cubed equals 125. If I take the cube root of 125, I'm going to get 5. So my equation is y equals log base 5 of x plus 8. Thanks for watching, Wildkits. Now it's your chance to go and practice.